The scandal surrounding those recalled GM vehicles continues to swirl tonight. New records showing the company knew of a possible fix but chose not to put them in the vehicles. 7 Action News investigator Ross Jones here with the very latest for us now. Ross.
Good evening, Stephen. 1 week from today, GM CEO Mary Barra will testify before Congress, and you can bet she'll face questions about what we're about to tell you. On her 29th birthday, Brooke Melton was driving in the rain at night in her 2005 Chevy Cobalt. She didn't know it at the time, but GM's own engineers had learned of a serious safety defect in her car even before they sold it to her. But they elected not to fix it, and before Brooke got home that night, her family says her Cobalt's ignition failed. It cost her her life.
Even though I knew she was gone, I reached over, I kissed her forehead, and whispered in her ear, "Brooke, I will vindicate your death."
Last month, GM recalled more than 1.6 million vehicles like Brooke's that the company acknowledges have faulty ignition switches that can shut the car down, disabling airbags and anti-lock brakes. And in a newly released deposition stemming from a lawsuit filed by Brooke's family, a GM engineer admits the automaker could have done more to protect its drivers. In his deposition, Cobalt engineering manager Gary Altman acknowledged that engineers developed a special insert that could help fix the problem, but weren't convinced it would work 100% of the time. Because of that, they elected not to put the new insert into the Cobalts, saying the vehicles could still be driven if the ignition ever failed. The car could still be maneuvered to the side of the road in control in that condition, Altman said. His deposition was part of the Melton family's lawsuit against GM, which they settled for an undisclosed amount. The family's attorney asked Altman if the decision not to install the inserts was meant to save GM money. It made a business decision not to fix this problem, and 5 months later sold her a vehicle with the problem, didn't it, he asked. Altman replied, "That is what happened, yes."
I am overwhelmed by anger. If we had just known this information, my daughter would still be here today.
GM was also just hit with another class action lawsuit that's been filed on behalf of 13 GM customers from 9 different states. It is the latest in a string of suits that GM insists it's immune from because of its 2009 bankruptcy. The company had no comment on this latest suit.
Wow, long way to the end of this one, for sure. Thank you, Ross.